Again. There we go. Buffalo Fanatics, what's going on? It's your man Rev, bringing it to you for another week in another edition of Rated Rev. Brought to you by the Buffalo Fanatics Network, baby. You know I was muted for about 2 seconds, and your boy caught that real quick. I know you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm not muted no more. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? No sound? Come on. Come on, baby. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I need to know if you guys can hear me. So give me the thumbs up right real quick if you guys can hear me. Thumbs up, you guys got me? Are we good? There we go. Let's get it popping, baby. Hey. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. From wherever you are watching this show, it's your man, Red, bringing it to you one more again. I say one more again, baby. This is the Buffalo Fanatics Network. You guys want me to turn the music down? I'll turn it down for you. I'll turn it down. Here we go. Come on, man. There it is. Is that better for you guys? Let's get it popping, man. I need to know where you guys are watching from. This is a roll call before we get the show started. You know how we do it every single week, every Wednesday night. I need to know where y'all are watching from. Put it in the chat, baby. Put it in the chat. The week is flying by. The Bills got a short week. We about to squish the fish. It's going down. You already know what it is. Here we go. Randall coming in from Dover, Delaware. What's good, Randall? I got Cass coming in from Hamburg, New York. Connecticut is in the house. Kebby, what's good? Trust the Process is watching all the way from PA, Pennsylvania in the house. Kev Boyo, Rochester, New York. What's good? Here we go. Patrick Dinley all the way from Phoenix, Pennsylvania. Ain't no such thing. Phoenix, Arizona. What's good? Happens to be the place where the Bills are going to be playing the Super Bowl, baby. Come on. Syracuse from my man Doug. I got Vegas in the house. Maurice Anderson. I got Tyler coming in from Lexington, South Carolina. Sweat coming in from Indianapolis. What's good, baby? Sean Adams. Cornell, New York. Where else we got? I've got Benjamin from OP, Jersey in the house. This is about to be another crazy, ridiculous episode of Rated Rev. You guys already know it. And in case you don't know what's going on, I am the host, Rev Rhodes. What's good, Bills Mafia from Orchard Park? Do me this favor. Do me this favor, will you? As you guys are entering the broadcast, you're entering the show, I need you to do me a favor. Smash that like button. And after you smash the like, scroll over to the right and hit the subscribe button with the bell notifications on. Why? Because you want to make sure that you're plugged into the Buffalo Fanatics Network all season long. Because this is about to be an epic season. An epic season for your Buffalo Bills, baby. We're going all the way. We're going all the way. Oh, man. Come on. Trust the process. Amen, brother. Praise God that Jane Jackson walked out of the hospital. Absolutely. 1,000%. 1,000%. We're going to get into that, too. We're going to get into that. But, man, who in here is as excited about this Bills game versus the Dolphins as I am? If you guys are as excited about this game as I am, I need to know. Let me know how excited you are in the chat. And in case y'all don't know, man, look here, the chat goes off. This is where it's at, man. And whenever you tune into the Rated Rev show, this show is interactive. I love interacting with you all, the fans, because at the end of the day, though I have a mic and a camera in my face, I am just a fan, just like you. So this show is fan-driven. You know what I'm saying? Fan-driven. Oh, hold up. Speaking of fan-driven, I've got to, look, we have to address a little something, okay? Because you know what? We're family, right? This is Bills Mafia. And you know when family members are struggling a little bit, it's our job, right, to make sure that we bring them in tight, right, and encourage them. Let them know it's going to be all right. Let them know it's going to be good, right? So this is what I need everybody that's watching right now to do this for Jay. Jay comes in and Jay says, yo, I'm a little nervous, Rev. Look, Jay, it's all good, man. It's all good. There ain't nothing to be nervous about. Nothing to be nervous about. You know, you saw the title of the show. Did you see the title? This is what the title of the show is, in case you didn't catch the thumbnail. Why the Bills should not feel threatened one bit, baby. Come on. Don't feel threatened. Don't feel threatened. No need to be nervous. We got you. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Trust and believe it's going to be all right. Okay? You saw what we did to the Rams, defending Super Bowl champions, smashed that, you know what? Titans came in Monday night thinking they're going to run all over us. We beat the brakes off of them. Beat them up like nobody's business. So you ain't got nothing to worry about. But we're going to talk about it here, okay? We're going to talk about it. But you know what else we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about my man Bobby Glean coming through already with the super chat. Bobby Glean, I appreciate you, man. He says, yo, Fins versus the Bills reminds me of your little brother trying to eat at the grown folks table. Oh! Bobby Glean with the heat. Look, y'all already know what that is, right? You ever had a little brother trying to eat the grown folks table and you're looking at him like, yo, it's this grown folks business. What you doing here? What you know, you need to go get your food, get out the table, go back upstairs in your room, get your coloring book, and keep yourself occupied. It's grown folks talking right now. It's grown folks business. You're too young for that. That's what this is going to be like. This is what's going to be. And I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Bobby, you get me excited. But trust me, it's going to be good. It's going to be good, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be good. My man Fireball comes through. Yo, all gas, no brakes. Let's get it. That's what I'm talking about, man. This is all gas, no brakes. Have you guys noticed that already? Have y'all noticed that already? With the Bills so far, two games into the season already, and this Bills team is all gas, no brakes. Like they're not letting off. Well, they kind of let off a little bit on Monday night, but the game was way out of hand. 41-7. They were just chilling. They were coasting. There was no way in the world the Titans are going to score on us. So Josh Allen was on the sideline with his cap on, doing this number right here. While Case Keenum and the second string team was on the field because the Titans couldn't do anything. So I guess you could say that they let off the gas, but there was really no need to put on the gas anyway. The Titans couldn't catch up regardless. We're so far ahead, there was nothing that could be done. It was just that bad of a beatdown. But we ain't playing. We ain't playing this year. We are not playing this year. And my man Pierre said it before. We're catching bodies this year. We're catching bodies, man. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are coming this season with a whole lot of receipts. You know what I'm saying? And they are coming with a different type of a mindset. They don't want to they're not content with just winning. They're not content with just winning. You hear me? No. They want to break you down. They want to crush your soul. Y'all hear that? I'm getting a little too excited. They want to break them all the way down. And that's what's different with this team. There's a whole bunch of dogs on this squad this year, baby. And they ain't playing one bit. So you should not be threatened one bit by the Miami Dolphins. Ugh. Come on, I don't care who they got. They got talent, get it. But they ain't Josh Allen talent. They ain't Buffalo Bills talent. And we're going to find out real quick. I ain't scared to put my neck on the line. I ain't scared about it. Not one bit. Not one bit. It's like Abby says, Abby, let them know, Abby. Y'all see it. Let them know, Abby. Blowing everyone out the water. Everyone out, blowing them all out. Abby, I appreciate that because that is exactly what it's going to be like all season long. So we have to get ready. We have to get used to it, Mafia. We ain't the same Bills. This ain't the same Bills as before. You ain't got nothing to be worried about. Nothing to be worried about. We are, there we go, Bills Mafia. We are the grave digger of the NFL. Catching bodies, digging graves. Oh, man, y'all got me fired up, man. Y'all got me fired up. You got me all the way fired up. But that's a good thing. That is a good thing. And we're going to talk about a whole lot tonight. So the main topic of the show, you already know what we're talking. I'm talking about, the Bills do not need to feel threatened about with one bit with the Dolphins at all. Okay? But we're going to push that aside just a little bit because you know what else we got? Man, we got it. We're only, a few days removed, man. A few days removed of that Tennessee butt kicking. They got a taste of some Nashville hot, all right. They got beat all the way up and down the field, left and right. From one end of the end zone to the other end, they got smacked. They got humiliated. They got embarrassed. They got cooked. They got destroyed. Didn't I tell you? Man, y'all, you got me fired up, Mafia. Didn't I tell you? Rev told you. I told you last week. That's why you got to listen to your preacher, okay? Listen to you. I told you last week what was going to happen. Didn't I say that? I said the Bills are going to destroy the Titans. They weren't just going to beat them. They were going to destroy the Titans. And I think I put out a score prediction of like 42-17, and I was being very generous with the Titans because I felt like, okay, maybe they'll score a couple of times, right? And a field goal. I mean, I give them that. The 41-7, but you know who was spot on? My man, the kingpin, Pierre. And Pierre, if you in here, man, if you watching, talk your talk, baby. Pierre is like, 41-7. 41-7. And that was like being conservative because, he didn't see any way they was going to be able to score on us. Outside of that first drive, it was a wrap. Done. Bill, like Sean McDermott said, and I like what he said, man. Sean McDermott came through. He's like, and he said this, I think, like going into the second half. One of the sideline reporters or somebody was talking to him, was like, yo, coach, blah, blah, what do you think about this, whatever? And Sean was like, we just got to settle down. We have to settle down a little bit. And boy, did they settle down or what? The Bills settled all the way down, got real comfortable, got good and comfortable, and started to put the beat down on them. Oh, my gosh. Yo, Joby says, yo, I said 42-10 on overdue Bills. Hey, man, well, you were right there. You were right there. Right there, man. Yo, Doug says, yo, you speak the truth, Rev. Amen, baby. Amen, brother. Hey. Yo, Trust Process comes in and says, don't play yourself. I told y'all. You going to make me do it, Trust. You going to make me do it. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where? Don't play. Didn't I say it? Don't play yourself. Don't play. I try to tell them. Tennessee Titans Weekly came in, right? They were like with that little eyeballs looking like what you gonna look at? Like looking at what? What do you think you're gonna do? You ain't gonna do nothing. But they came in trying to be slick, right? Titans fans talking all kinds of head. All that yakety yak. But they ain't talking back. They ain't talking back now, man. Where they at? Where they at? Where they at? I ain't heard today. They quiet as a church mouse. I ain't heard nothing. I ain't heard nothing out of them. Nothing. They got beat down, man. That was an epic beat down. And to think that they put up this many points on them without Gabe Davis. And they shut down Derrick Henry. Where's your king now? Shut him down. Is this your king? Shut him all the way down. All the way down. Without Ed Oliver. Without Tim Settle. This team is different, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not recognized it by now, this team is different. And my man Mario comes in. Mario, man, hey, I feel for you, brother. Yo, he says, yo, my wife is a Titans fan. Won't even talk to me. That's a shame. That's a crying shame. It's going to be all good, Mario. It's going to be all right. She'll get over it. She'll get over it. Yeah, RJ, without Oliver and Settle. Absolutely, man. We did this without Oliver and Settle. 25 yards for Henry. The one they call the king. He ain't the king in Buffalo. I know that much. He ain't no king over here, baby. There's only one king. There's only one king in Buffalo, and that's Josh Allen. You better recognize this ain't your kingdom, King Henry, Prince Henry. What your name should be. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Humpty Dumpty ran into a brick wall. What happened? And they couldn't put them back together. They couldn't, the Titans horsemen, the Kingsmen, they couldn't put them back together again. They sure couldn't. They were trying, but they couldn't put them together. You know when I knew the game was over? I'll tell you when I knew the game was officially over. I knew the game was officially over when I saw the Tennessee Titans come out in the spread offense. When that happened, I knew, oh, it's a wrap. Game over. They trying to play catch up. And we know they can't throw the ball. When that happened, it was over with. I was like, oh, game over. Game over. It's a wrap. We had such a lead. We forced them to be one-dimensional. I mean, they already are one-dimensional, right, with Henry. But when you shut that down and you get up on them by a couple of scores, and they came out in that spread, empty backfield look, I was like, oh, yeah, it's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. Why? Like DJ says, yo, because we built different. We built different, man. Come on now. Look. Built different. Built all the way different. Built all the way. Rafael Lopez. What's good from Mexico City? ¿Qué pasó, hombre? Viva los Bills, baby. Viva los Bills. Yo, Abby comes in again. Yo, Abby, yo, we've yet to see them at full strength too. We can only go further. Only go further. So true. So true. This team is different, y'all. This team is different. I don't know what else to tell y'all. This team is so different. And you know what else? You know what else about this team? Yo, I was trying to tell, I tried to tell people like last week, man. I was like, yo, look, the Buffalo Bills are not the same team. They're not. They're not the same team as before. The past 2 years, they've been incredible, right? 2 years ago, they made it to the AFC Championship game. And we knew that team wasn't quite ready yet. And they made it all the way to the AFC Championship game. Then last year, they were better as far as talent is concerned, right? Josh Allen improved, the rest of the team improved, but they had some issues around the middle of the season or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They weren't able to secure the number 1 seed, but in the playoffs, they played a whole lot better. And they came up this short to the Chiefs, but we knew that team was better. And then now this year, they add so much talent, revamp the entire defensive line, add some key pieces across the O-line, bring in Von Miller and the rest of the squad. And the team looks different, all the way different. They're not the same no more. And if you thought we were dominant last year or the year before, you ain't seen nothing yet. Nothing. In 2 weeks against the defending Super Bowl champion LA Rams in their home stadium while they're ringing the bell and lowering the Super Bowl banner with future Hall of Famer Aaron Donald, right? Super Bowl MVP winner Cooper Kupp going against Dane Jackson and rookie cornerbacks. We beat the tails off. Beat them like it was nothing. 31-10. Cakewalk. Easy. Then for our home opener, Monday Night Football, lights bright in Buffalo, New York, baby. Thousands upon thousands of Bills Mafia fuming out the mouths, packed house at Highmark Stadium, going nuts, jumping off tables against the defending number 1 AFC seed Tennessee Titans, who's had our number for the past couple of years. Beat them like they did not belong on the same field. Like this was a varsity team versus a peewee league. I ain't even gonna give them JV. There was no competition. It was nothing. The game was over early. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt like I said that this game is likely going to be over by halftime. I felt like this game, like second half, is going to be over. Well, it's daggum near close. Because when the Bills came out second half, they poured it on, and it was a wrap. An absolute wrap. This Bills team, y'all, ain't the same. And I try to tell people this. You know what? This is what I try to tell. This is what I said last week. I said, yo, this ain't that. Y'all remember? You remember? I said, this ain't that. This ain't the same team no more. This ain't that. Titans fans want to talk about, yo, we're going to run. There was some dude. They came in. I'm trying to remember where it was. I don't know if it was in my mentions on Twitter or if it was here on the show. Yeah, I was on the show live last week. Some Titans fan talk about, yo, we're going to run all over you, run all over you, or run you out of Orchard Park like we did last year in Tennessee. I was like, you out your mind. You know what I told him? This is what I told him. I didn't tell him. DJ Khaled told him, don't play yourself. But they didn't want to listen to Rev. They didn't want to listen to the preacher. And I told them, don't play yourself. And what happened? They got played. Where they at now? So quiet. Ain't nowhere to be found, man. Nowhere to be found. It's okay. It's all right. They over there in Nashville licking their wounds They in there, hey, they're licking their wounds, man. Hey, look at their wounds. And matter of fact, let me go ahead and show you just a little bit of what's going on. Let me show you just a little bit of what's going on in from Nashville, Tennessee, from some of the Titans fans. Check this out. Look at this. Look at this. This was I was being petty. I'm not even gonna lie. So I went on and I was looking on YouTube at some of the Titans, like the Titans page. And they had a press conference, right? There was a press conference with Mike Vrabel. And so I was like, yo, I hear him, but I wanted to look in the comments because the comments is where it's at. So I scrolled through the comment section and I knew I was gonna find some gold. And this is what I found. It's so funny. Check this out. Look. One fan says, he said, yo, this was embarrassing. Sure am glad we traded away all our best receivers to save a few bucks. McLeod 559. Here's another one. Halo Media Records says, yo, this is what happens when you have a one-dimensional offense. You got rid of your best receiver and replaced AJ with inexperienced wide receivers. Oh my God, I love it. Here's some more. Check this out. Another one says, yo, as a Titans fan, and he was saying this one, Dr. Function was trying to show some love. Dr. Function was like this, he said, yo, as a Titans fan, I knew we were going to lose. When I tuned in and saw how jacked the Bills fans were, I said, this is going to be a bloodbath. Highmark Stadium was downright scary. And if the Bills get the number 1 seed, they will win the whole thing. I would be surprised if they aren't Super Bowl champs at the end of the season. Yo, I'm telling you, man, Titans fans, oh, man, they over there like they crying. I've got more for you. I'm going to show it to you a little bit later on in the show. They were crying. They're over there trying to lick their wounds. It was hilarious. I loved it. And I was being petty. And I was commenting on some of the stuff I'm going to show you. It was so funny. Oh, man, yo. Okay, yeah. See, I knew it. Season Beast comes in and he says, yo, I live in Tennessee. Most of my Facebook friends are Titans fans. They've been silent this week. They've been silent. Where are they at, man? Where are they? Season Beast, you need to call them out. Call them out. Richard Forbes said, yo, I bet they've got nothing to say. They don't have anything to say. They've got nothing to say. Nothing. What can they say? They got their tails beat. Man. Like it wasn't even like, come on. Wasn't even competitive. Wasn't even close. And so I'm fired up about it. I'm fired up about the Bills, about what they've been showing us. I know you guys are fired up about it. There's 180 plus in this show right now. Do me this favor. If you're fired up about what the Bills have been showing the past 2 weeks, give me a thumbs up. Smash that like. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed. Yo, you know who else is fired up about the Bills? Y'all know who else? Oh, man. My man, Kyle Brandt. Kyle Brandt on the Good Morning Football. He was fired up. And listen to what Kyle Brandt had to say, because he went crazy. Check this out.
Cannot imagine being a defensive coordinator in the league right now in their schedule. I cannot.
72-17.
72-17.
I think Ken Dorsey looks down on the field and he recognizes his college team. Like this Buffalo Bills team feels like a college team. Like this is the number 1 team in the nation right now. And they pull up in the bus and they get off in their sport jackets and they go and they sing the fight song. Paul Feinbaum has all the takes today on the Buffalo Bills. They feel like Georgia. Like this is the number 1 team in the land. And maybe they'll get knocked off by Alabama or something. But right now they just show up and they just wreck people. And these feel like conference opponents. These aren't like the pay-for-play teams. Like these are legitimate programs, and the Rams and the Titans, and they had nothing. Like they're not even close.
They had nothing. Not even close. This was no scrub team. They came into Buffalo, right? Number 1 seed in the AFC last year. Now, they didn't have A.J. Brown. They didn't have Julio Jones, right? But they had King Henry. That's their man, King Henry, right? Supposedly have gotten bigger and stronger this offseason. Ready to have another fantastic year. Thought they were going to come to Buffalo and just have a stampede, just run all over the Bills. Especially with Ed Oliver and Tim Settle out. Didn't happen. And I ain't gonna lie. There was a moment when I got a little concerned. Okay, a little concerned. My concern was not so much the D-line. I felt like the interior of our D-line was going to get tested, right? Because it's hard to replace a guy like Ed Oliver and Tim Settle and inside. But we had Daquan Jones, Jordan Phillips, all right? But my slight level of concern was when I found out that Gabe Davis was going to be out. That's what kind of got me like, oh, okay. I felt like we were going to put up points, but I was like, dang. All right, because I felt like this is my thinking. The Titans are going to try their best, even though they don't have Christian Fulton. They're going to try their best to try to game plan Diggs out of the game. Get him out of the game. That's what they're going to try to do. Focus attention on Diggs. But corner on him and Kevin Byard over there, over the top. They're going to try to, right? Because, I mean, if you want to stop somebody, you can do it for the most part. And so my thing was, all right, who was going to be that number 2 wide receiver that's going to show up without Gabe Davis? Outside, you know what I'm saying? We have a little dirty Isaiah McKenzie. We have Jamison Crowder, but those guys are slot-only receivers on this squad. So I'm thinking they have to activate Khalil Shakir. The rookie is going to get some playing time. He has to show up, right? And then Jake Kummerow. But still, I'm like, man, these guys they're not Gabe. So I was concerned with the number 2 option outside. Not going to lie. But, man, did they just erase all concern for me. Without Gabe Davis, they put up 41 points like it was nothing. Jake Kummerow looked like Gabe Davis 2.0, man. I was like, yo, that long bomb he caught on the left sideline looked like classic Gabe Davis. Classic. Khalil Shakir, he need a little work, right? He showed up and showed out in preseason, but this is the regular season. He had a little work to do, right? But I believe he's going to improve. But nevertheless, yeah, Jeff comes in, yo, exactly. Kummerow was a dog for a surprise. And this shows how much depth we have. Absolutely, man, it does. It really does. Like, there's a reason why they trust Kummerow, right? There's a reason why they trust him. There's a reason why he landed on the final 53-man roster over Isaiah Hodgins, who performed better, in my opinion, throughout the camp and even preseason. But Kummerow is proven. So, and he proved it. He proved it right there. I'm like, yo, was this Gabe Davis 2.0? Touchdown Jesus right there, you know what I'm saying? Coming through, looking like Gabe on the sideline. Excellent. This is what you want. You want to see this from your depth. Whenever your main men go out, it's next man up. I know that's cliche, but it's the truth. Next man has to show up. And they did. They showed up. Man. And it was great. It was great to watch. Yeah, I know Joshua Taylor says, yo, dude missed a big block. I think you're talking about Khalil Shakir. Yeah, he missed a big block. He did. But it's all right, man. He's young. He's a rookie. He's going to learn. He'll learn. The more and more he gets on the field, the more he'll learn. Okay? But this is going to be all right. Jeff King comes in. Yo, what's up, Jeff? He says, yo, been with this since the 70s. Have never seen this combination of the 85 Bears and the greatest show on turf. I'm going to tell you right now, Jeff, I agree with you, man. If this team, I mean, we've seen it so far, right? In 2 games in, we got 15 more to go. But so far, and it's hard not to just get so super excited about what we've seen so far. But if this team can sustain this level of play throughout the rest of the season, like Aaron Donald was doing last year, put that ring on him. Because I don't see anybody else. I don't see anybody else beating these guys. Seriously. I don't see it. I just don't see it, man. But this team is incredible. This team has a different vibe this year. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all feel that? It's a different vibe this year. I think they have a lot of I don't know if animosity is the word I'm looking for, but they have a lot of pinned up aggression coming into this season from what happened last year and how they ended the year last year. Because they last year, no doubt they should have went to the Super Bowl. They didn't, but they carried that the entire offseason. And they came in with not a chip on their shoulders. They came in with a boulder on their shoulders, baby. Boulder. And then you add in a guy like Von Miller with his pedigree. Future first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt. 2-time Super Bowl champion Von Miller. Looking for his third ring, comes in with that type of pedigree and that type of moxie, bringing it to the Bills. And you can see the level of intensity, the level of this team has just been amplified. A whole nother level. This team is different. This team is different. But not only are they different, man, this team is fun to watch. Are they not? Like, how can you not? Like, I'm ready to watch some more Bills. Like, I can't get enough. I can't. It's like I'm addicted. I don't know what they put, you know what I'm saying, in that team, baby. They got something that's got your boy addicted. I'm a straight fiend. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a straight fiend for the Bills. But it's one thing for us as fans to say, yo, this team is fun to watch. This team is exciting, right? It's one thing to see a national media to talk about how exciting this team is to watch. But it's a whole nother thing when your head coach talks about it. Check out what Sean McDermott said after the game.
That last throw that Josh made and to Steph, and I'm just saying, go get it, man, go get it. And he got it. It was fun to watch. I mean, that was awesome.
You see that right there? You see Sean. Sean is he's normally pretty stoic, right? He's normally that stoic guy. He doesn't really want to give a whole lot of compliments. It's early. He's Mr. Cliche, you know what I'm saying? Trust the process. We got a whole lot of football left to play, respect, and all that kind of stuff. He said, he came out. He couldn't help himself. He was like, I was telling that play out there, the Diggs, I was just telling him, man, go get it, man, go get it. And boy, he went out and got it. It's fun to watch. When your head coach talks about having fun, it was fun. When he can sit down on the sideline and just have a ball, just enjoying himself because of how fun his football team is, you know that this team is different, man. It's different. It's completely different, man. It is completely different. And I just can't get enough of them. I really can't. I am just excited about it. I am just through the roof about the Buffalo Bills, man. About the Bills. And as we move on in the show, trust me, we're going to talk about the Dolphins. We're going to talk about the Dolphins, man. But I can't get enough of what we just witnessed. I can't get enough, man. I can't get enough of it. And we have to do just a quick recap, man. A quick recap of that game. And what I need to know from you all, from everybody in here who's watching, everybody, I want to know, what was your key play? What was your key play when you were tuning in Monday night and you saw the Bills put the epic beat down on the Titans? What was, in your opinion, the key play of the game? What was it? What was it? I will tell you mine. Here's my key play. Here's my key play right here. And I think I'm going to show it to you. Yeah, I'm going to show it to you. But the key play for me, let me set it up a little bit. The key play for me was the first Allen to Diggs touchdown. Okay, remember that? The Bills were, it was 4th and 1 on the Titans 4-yard line with about 1 minute and 7 seconds left in the second quarter. This is the play. This was it. Hold on a second. Yeah, here we go. This was it. Check this out.
4th down and 1. Big to Moss. Allen wants to throw across his body. Stephon Diggs for the touchdown. The easiest touchdown catch he'll ever make.
Man, that right there to me was a key play. 4th and 1. The Bills only up 10-7, but they had an opportunity as they get ready to close out the first half. This is why it was so important. Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Titans were getting the ball back in the to start the second half. Right? Is that right? Am I right about that? I think the Titans were getting the ball back. So I felt like this. I felt like if the Bills could capitalize right here as it's a minute and some change left before they headed up into the second half and the Titans got the ball back, it was crucial, man, that they scored a touchdown. Up 10-7, you're like, okay, you can't really get too comfortable, right? A field goal, 13-7. Would have been 13-7. Titans would have got the ball back, okay? And they would have had the chance to actually move down the field and take the lead or tie it, okay? So I felt like if the Bills could capitalize right there on the Titans' 4-yard line, 4th and 1 with a touchdown, it would have given them that much more cushion going in to start the second half, and it would have put the Titans that much further behind the 8-ball because we know they're not a team that can really come from behind. The further and further you separate themselves, right? The further and further you separate yourselves from them on the scoreboard, the less one-dimensional with Derrick Henry they become, and the more one-dimensional they become in the passing game, which we all know how ineffective that's going to be, right? Their whole thing is about play action to King Henry. I ain't going to call him the king no more, Derrick Henry. But when the running game ain't working, ain't nobody going to respect the play action. And when you don't have A.J. Brown, sayonara, good luck. So that's why I felt like that moment right there, that play was so incredibly important for us because it gave us the momentum. As I saw somebody said, it was, Chewy Baca comes in, he said that was a momentum killer. It was. And it built momentum for the Bills going into the second half, going into halftime. You know what I'm saying? So that was incredible for me. Jenna comes in. Jenna says, the Edmund sack after his accidental hit on Dane just had to have given him confidence. He was going nuts. That was great, too. That was another great play. There were so many key plays throughout the entire game. But I love that. I love the Edmund sack. I love the Allen the Diggs first touchdown. There were just so many moments. How about this one? What do you guys think about this one? What do you guys think about this play of the game?
That Diggs wasn't Gabe Davis. No, then there's this guy. Oh my gosh. All right, so Diggs now in the red zone on a 4th and 1. Josh says we're going. And I do say Josh says we're going. Touchdown, Stephon Diggs. Casual gritty. I think the post Mike Gesicki gritty is
not that one. Here it is, right here.
Now in a second, it's look at this bleeping laser. Boom. I mean, it was a great catch by Diggs, but Allen just steps up and uncorks one. Jay, what do you think of the secondary here? Not the best.
That was incredible. That touchdown pass, man, like Kyle Brandt said, that was a freaking laser of a bomb to Steph Diggs. Caught him in stride, beat the corner by a couple of yards, had Diggs stretch out for the that was, oh man, I loved it. I absolutely loved every bit of it, man. Every single bit of it. Stephon Diggs is Diggs having a phenomenal start to his 2022 NFL campaign or what? That man Diggs is on it seems like he's playing with a different type of attitude also. He's almost like he's playing like he's saying, I know y'all ain't forget about me. I know y'all don't have short-term memory loss, right? I know Cooper Kupp was the Triple Crown winner last year, but I know y'all didn't forget that the year prior, I led the league in receiving. I know y'all didn't forget that, but in case you did, let me remind you who's one of the best receivers in the game right now. Stephon Diggs is having himself an incredible start to the season. Take a look at this. Stephon Diggs, the 2 weeks already, you see his yard, you see his numbers. Week 1, 8 receptions for 122 yards and a touchdown. 8 for 122 and a touchdown. Monday night, which I don't know how you can improve on that, man. He said, hold my beer. Let me show you how. 12 receptions, 148 yards, and 3 touchdowns. This man, Stephon Diggs, is on another level right now. He is playing lights out. Lights out. And I know, guys, I know, I get it. Maybe, am I getting too ahead of myself 2 weeks in? No, I don't care. I just don't care. I don't care. He's having a phenomenal year already. And when I'm looking at it, man, look, this guy is averaging. Oh my gosh, hold on a second. Hold on. Where am I? I want to look at this because I did some crazy numbers and I'm like, yo, this can't be real, right? It's likely never going to happen, right? I mean, there's absolutely no way, right? Like he can keep this up for the whole year. But this guy, so far, he has 20 receptions, 270 yards receiving. Okay. Averaging 13.5 yards per reception. Just ridiculous numbers, right? So it's $135 is what he's averaging per game. $135. Multiply that bad boy by 17. I get it. I know it ain't gonna happen. But multiply that by, if we're just doing averages, multiply that by 17. $135 times 17 games in the regular season. Y'all tell me what that is. I already got it pulled up. This man Diggs is so far on the way to having a 2,300-yard season. My man is en route to 2,295 receiving yards on the year. I know that's lofty, right? I know he can't possibly sustain that for an entire 17-game season. Or can he? I feel like this year, I'm not going to say that's what's going to happen, but this is going to be a record-breaking season by the Buffalo Bills all year long. All year long. We're seeing it already. So I wouldn't necessarily count anything out. I wouldn't necessarily count it out. But my man Diggs is off to a ridiculous season. Jenna Carlson says, yo, 20 receptions going into week 3 is nuts. It really is. It really is. This guy is, he and Josh, the connection for them two, man, it seems like it just gets better and better every single year, right? Every single year, they just continue to get better. Year after year after year, they just improve. And I think that for Diggs, there's really no stopping him. There is really no stopping him. He's at the show like, yo, you guys can bring whoever cornerback you want to. Line them up in front of me. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be Jalen Ramsey. You know what I'm saying? It could be well, they had some scrubs. Tennessee Titans. I ain't gonna lie. Kevin Byard peeking over the top. It could be him. It could be Xavier Howard. I don't care who it is. I don't care. I'm being petty. I don't care who it is. Diggs is out for blood. He is out for blood, and he is ready to have a fantastic season. And as we close out this Titans recap, I want to know from you all, give me a player spotlight on offense and defense. Give me a player spotlight. Who do you think stood out on the offense and defensive side of the ball? One player each from both sides of the ball. For me on offense, it's easy, right, to spotlight Allen. It's easy to spotlight Diggs. It's easy for us to do that. But what about somebody who really showed up when they needed to? Huh? I'm tempted to say put the spotlight on Kumaro, but I ain't going to do it. I appreciate his contributions. But how can you not put the spotlight on Stephon Diggs? How can you not do that? 12 receptions for 148 yards. Look at that again. 12 for 148, 3 touchdowns. And whoever played him on fantasy probably won that game. You know what I'm saying? Whoever had him on his fantasy team won that game by a large margin. It's quite possible. That man right there had a ridiculous game. Ridiculous game. But then on the defensive side of the ball, on defense, my player spotlight, dang, man, it's hard to pick one of them. It's hard to pick one of them. But I think I'm going to go with Tremaine Edmonds. I was leaning towards Matt Milano because of that pick six. But Tremaine Edmonds, he played on fire last night. I mean, not last night, Monday night. He had a great game. He was flashing. He was playing downhill, playing physical, maybe a little too physical on the wrong player. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, he was playing physical. And so I loved his edge. I loved what he brought to the table and what he showed us Monday night. So I want to hear from you guys. Let me know who your player spotlights are on offense and on defense. Jonathan comes in. He says, Mitch Morse. I get it. Morse is just Mr. He's just Mr. Consistent, man. Mr. Consistent. Who is this? Who else? Let me see. I got Saffold in here. All right, Saffold, big time. Yeah, no doubt. Saffold, man. Hey, didn't we do a number on Jeffrey Simmons? I thought Jeffrey Simmons was going to be able to wreck the game. Like, that guy was like, he was one of my, from last week, he was one of my keys to big dubs. We had to shut down, he had a key on him. You can't let Jeffrey Simmons wreck the game. And for 2 straight weeks against Aaron Donald, shut him down. Jeffrey Simmons, shut him down. 2 top-notch, top dog, elite level defensive tackles in the league. Quiet. Did nothing. Absolutely nothing. This offensive line is different, man. Roger Saffold coming in, different. But you know who I think is the offensive line whisperer? That's Aaron Cromer, man. Aaron Cromer just came through with it, man. Aaron Cromer just showed up this year. He put his stamp on this Bills offensive line, and they have been playing lights out. Not just in pass protection, but in the run game as well. Even though we're not just like mowing guys over in the run game, because that's not necessarily our style of play. But when we need to run the ball, we can run it. Unlike last year when there was just no shot of running the ball out. We just forget it, right? Just forget it. RB1! It may be RB1 time next week, baby. I don't know. What do you guys think? Aaron is a savage. Aaron is a savage. Aaron Cromer is a beast for us. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, those are my player spotlights, both on offense and defense. And my final thoughts on the Bills versus Titans, it's simple. It's not even a whole lot. This team is built different. This team is built different, man. This ain't that, right? This ain't the same Bills team. And you know who else is going to find out that this ain't the same Bills team? Oh, baby. Now it's time. Now it's time to get cooking. You know who else is going to find out that this ain't the same team? The Miami Dolphins. They're going to find out. They're going to find out real quick. But I can't talk about the Miami Dolphins by myself. I can't do it. I've got somebody that's waiting. He's waiting to get in, and I want to hear his thoughts. My man, good brother, friend to the show, friend to the Fanatics, our very own resident Dolphins fan, though I think that he's a closet Bills fan, you know what I'm saying? But he ain't quite came out yet. But I don't know why, you know what I'm saying? It's 2022, baby. You can come out. It's all good. My man, the one and only, handsome guy with a little smug smirk on his face, Kevin Guerard. Kevin, what is good, man? How are you doing?
No, man. What an intro, man. You know what I mean? The energy level. Like, I just came in and killed it because I was like, pretty good. But yeah, no, man. I'm good.
Kev,
I'm good.
You good, man? It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you again.
You too, buddy.
Yo, what did you guys, man? First of all, congratulations, man. Congratulations to your Miami Dolphins. They look pretty good, dude. They look pretty good, man. 2 weeks in, I mean, and I guess it's mainly when you look at how they came back against the Ravens last week. Nevertheless, man, I mean, hey, this is the National Football League. You got to get your wins however you get them. 2-0 is 2-0. I'll let you talk to me about whether or not that's a legit team, you know what I'm saying, or whether they faking the funk, you know what I'm saying? Are they capping a little bit about this 2-0, or are they legit? But nevertheless, they are 2-0, Kevin. They've put some things on tape, man. Tua, you guys, is he the future, Kevin? Is Tua the future franchise quarterback of the Miami Dolphins? What say you, baby?
Probably not. You know, I was like,
you're not gonna give him no credit. Come on,
man.
Kev.
He had a good game. Yeah. I was surprised. I was glad to see your recap actually, because I forgot the Bills played a game this week, because every Bills Mafia person's on Twitter right now, not talking about their team, but talking about how undeserving Tua was. It was the worst 470-yard, 6-touchdown game ever played in the NFL. But
well, Kevin, you know that's true, Kevin.
Oh my God. All day I made one comment somewhere, and that's a slippery slope. 62 Bills fans are like, oh, Josh Allen's better. Of course he's better. But Tua had a good game. That's it, you know? So at halftime, though, I was ready to string him. I was ready to ship him out. I was like, yeah, that's enough, you know?
Yeah.
But
I'm surprised. I mean,
there it is. Like Richard Forbes, a good quarter anyways.
Yeah.
Dude, he was on pace for 300 yards at halftime. Like, it wasn't like he had the first. That's like saying, oh, well, Josh Allen struggled against the Rams early on. No, he just had a couple of picks, and then he kicked some arse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But hello. So they probably shouldn't have won that game, if we're being honest. Last game, you know what I mean? But what I like to see about it is that in the past, they would never have been able to come back, right?
Yeah.
It was not something they were capable of.
Yeah.
Again, did they deserve it? Probably not. But, you know, it was great to see. It was definitely entertaining. It was my favorite game to watch. And
I bet it was.
Probably since the Miami Miracle when we beat the Pats. Actually, no, the best game was when we swept you guys a few years ago, and Jay Ajayi ran for like 6,000 yards.
I don't even know what you're talking about, man.
But other than that, that's like my favorite game, right? So it was entertaining to watch. Now I will say against the Patriots, it didn't look impressive. It was like 20-7. Yeah, but we kneeled. We could have scored at the end, but we just kneeled on it. And I watching that game, not once did I ever think the Patriots had a chance of winning. Which again, Miami's not on the Bills level. Right, you guys are
right. We know that,
but I feel like Miami's better this year, obviously, than last year. I think that I give you that. I can see that. The new coach brought in, is paying huge dividends. Like, it's weird. It's almost like if you have an actual offensive system instead of 3 offensive coordinators trying to play RPO every play. It's almost as if that works. You know,
it does work, and it worked. Yeah, I mean, we're like you guys, man. Like I'm telling you, I'm not gonna lie, Kev. I was on Twitter, and this is a fault of mine because I get so emotional, right? And I'm watching you guys just get, run over. Just mode. I mean, Lamar Jackson is having himself a game. You guys are just getting destroyed. I'm like, I'm loving every bit of it. I'm not even gonna lie, Kev. And I'm on Twitter, just talking my talk. Nah, that's what y'all get. Trying to talk about the Bills, and I'm talking a whole lot of trash. And all of a sudden, Kev, they started to come back, and I'm looking at the score, and it gets closer and closer and closer, and I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me! Are the Miami Dolphins about to freaking catch up, and not only catch up, but beat the Ravens? Like, what happened in that game, Kev? Like, what was it like? And I had to eat my words. I'm not even gonna lie. And there's no shame in my game. I don't care. But what happened in that game that, as a fan, turned the tide? Like, for me, like, it's easy for me. And trust me, I'm like, yo, this was. I'm one of those guys who are like, yo, this was not a Dolphins win. This was a Ravens collapse on defense. But. Let me step back, and I want to give you a chance to talk about it as a fan, because you know more than I do. So what was it that you saw? I mean, was it legit? Was it the Dolphins actually coming back in the second half and changing some things and really just beating the Ravens, or did the Ravens just collapse? I mean, what was it to you when you saw it?
Well, we had no trouble moving the ball against them all game, like none. So it wasn't like weren't doing anything, and then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter we just started moving. The whole time we were moving the ball, like easily too. But basically what happened is Tua threw his first interception off of Tyreek's hands, bounces into the safety. Second one was just a terrible play. Like, I don't know what he was doing. I think he thought it was like a cover one and it was actually cover two. And he was just trying to make, I would assume just trying to make a play at the end of the half, but he was terrible. Like, it was a terrible decision, right? I was ready to run him out of town. But the running backs looked pretty good. The run block, the offensive line still suspect, which is why when we get to my prediction of the game, it'll go the way it goes. The other than Armstead's worth every penny. He's elite.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
The Bills are smart. They're not going to try Von Miller on him. Just run him around the other side of the formation and pick on whatever scrubs on that side. Because our right tackle is already hurt, so it's the backup right tackle, Greg Little. But anyways, they were.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know. He's not Bobby Hart, but he's in the same league. But it's like you can kind of see at least the plan, right? And the plan Miami's plan this year is they have the fastest offense in the NFL.
Yeah,
and from whether it's Mostert's the fastest running back, Hill and Waddle are the fastest pair of receivers. Gesicki runs a 4.5. So it's just a lot of speed, and you can see that offenses are giving them more space to operate in. And my biggest thing is I think Tua just hit a moment where he's just like, I don't know, man, it's not going very well. I'm just actually going to stop playing timid. I'm just going to start letting it rip. Yeah. Obviously, the one touchdown was a blown coverage. But at least he threw it. Like earlier in his career, he'd be checking that down, The first one is just, people forget, like Diggs is having an amazing start to the year. He's number 2 in the NFL, 2 behind Tyreek Hill. Yeah, so Tyreek Hill he's that good, man. Like he just burns guys and he's so open. It's not a busted coverage. Peters just couldn't keep up.
Nobody can.
Yeah. So, but it'll be interesting because the Bills play, they have that safety tandem, right? So they're just going to keep everything in front of them. And I don't know. But anyways, that's where I think, they hit a point where there was no real pressure. It was like, well, we're down by 21. Let's just go for it. And McDaniels is a very aggressive play caller.
Yeah, he really is. And Tyreek Hill, man, he's a guy, man. Like he is no doubt one of, if not the best receiver in the league, man. He's that dynamic. He's that dangerous. He's really is. But I always felt like it was up to Tua. Like if Tua can figure it out, if he has time and is able to get the ball to Tyreek Hill, whether it be in space or he can, connect on at least one, deep ball 20 plus yards down the field, you know what I'm saying? At least one, then they're going to be just incredibly difficult, you know what I'm saying, with those guys. It's because it's hard to defend that type of speed because Tyreek Hill, I mean, he can blow through double coverage. He can blow through safety. I mean, you give him a seam, he's gone. He's gone. So it's just a matter of whether or not Tua can get him the ball in those opportunities. But Tua, he shocked me, man. I'm not even. He shocked me this game. I was not looking forward to. And I'm surprised that Mike McDaniel had the patience to keep him in the game. I was waiting. I was waiting for Bridgewater to come out. I was waiting.
Yeah, I know. But at the same time, what's the point? You know what Bridgewater is. At least Tua has a bit of a ceiling because he's a young player. You know what I mean? He could get better. Bridgewater's been in the league for what now? 8-9 years. And he's even more conservative than Tua. Yeah. So there's no real point, right? So I thought it was good to keep it with him. And you know what? If Flores was there, they probably would have benched him. And had they benched him, it probably would have crushed his psyche even more. It would have crushed his confidence even more. That's what the Dolphins have done for him for the last 2 years, right? Again, we're not saying I don't think he's great. I don't think he's a superstar, but they've crushed his confidence for 2 years. For everything that the Bills did for Josh Allen, Miami did the opposite. Whether it's trying to trade for a sex offender for a full year, like publicly, like the coach actually came up and told Tua, yes, we're trying to trade you away. Good game. Like what are you supposed to do, right? You come back after a career-threatening injury and they're trying to trade you right first. First, it was the sit him down for Ryan Fitzpatrick debacle. If you didn't think he was ready, you shouldn't have put him in, you know, and you shouldn't have put him in with no training camp, no nothing coming off the hip. You should have sat him the whole year and let Fitzpatrick go the way, but they didn't. Then they pulled him. Now the questions start. Everyone starts laughing. Oh, he's a backup. Then he comes into year 2, and it's just nonstop Watson rumors. They finally, Watson gets traded to the Browns. What is it? A week later, the rumors come out that the Dolphins are tampering for Tom Brady. You know what
Crazy,
I mean?
man. Yeah.
So had they sat him this game, that was it. So there were, you know, I feel like McDaniel's going to give him the year. He's going to see what he's got for him or got with him, but you can't pull him. You can't do anything. You have to try and build his confidence up. And I think that's when you see those comments early in the year that Tyreek Hill was making and McDaniel was making. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to build this guy back up.
Yeah, I mean, they have to at this point, even though they may just build him back up just to draft another cornerback in round 1 next year. Which they're just going to build him up just enough to, I don't know, I guess maybe get you guys in the playoffs, and then you guys are out of position to even get that franchise quarterback. And then I don't know what's going to happen. But, man, I hope, you know, I don't know, man. Tua did. I mean, he got it back like Space Oddity said. Yeah, I do feel bad for Tua. They messed with him so much. They did. I mean, they really did. They did him no favors, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely no favors. And then granted, I mean, the guy came in. He had a serious injury that he was coming back from, so that hampered him quite a bit. But we saw what he did, and he has talent though, right, Kev? I mean, we saw what he did in Alabama with weapons. You know what I'm saying? And didn't you tell me beforehand that at one point that while he was in Alabama, didn't he have like I don't know about something about the deep ball, like he led the nation in
he was the most prolific deep ball passer in the country.
Yeah.
Like his not the last year, he came out the year before.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the best deep ball passers ever. The thing is he doesn't. Yeah, I think the hip injury took some of his zip off the ball.
Yeah,
he never had a cannon to begin with,
mm-hmm.
but I don't think he ever got back all of the arm strength from the hip.
Yeah,
and I think that's the big difference. And it's just that little bit of much, because coming out of college, his arm was I would say, I always argued it was stronger than Joe Burrow's, and no one talks about Joe Burrow not having the arm strength.
Right.
But since the hip, it's not the same.
Yeah. Do you think he can come back from it? Do you think it's just a matter of just strengthening it, or is it just it? He's done for?
Yeah, I think we're in year 3 now. If it's not going to get better now, I can't see it. I just can't see it. I'm not a doctor. We'd have to talk to a thigh doc, but I don't know, man.
So when you as we are gearing up for this game, man, what gives you confidence for your Dolphins going against the Bills after what you've seen, the past couple of weeks? What gives you confidence going into this game that the Dolphins can secure this win? Or are you confident or not?
I'm not confident. Yeah. I am not confident.
Come on, Kevin.
Yeah, I'm not crazy. So I've been telling all the Dolphins fans, like in private, of like, just quiet. Just calm down. Let's see if you win the game, then we can talk some. If we win the game, I'm going to be calling up fucking Pierre. I'm going to be asking him if you're king. You know what I mean? Like but until then, just don't say anything, because we don't have the right. It's been too long since we won beat you guys. So
I'm with you though, Kevin, because like when you look at it, and granted, I mean, this what the media does, right? I mean, the Dolphins, when we have that type of a win against a team as good as the Ravens are, you're gonna get the hype, right? You're gonna get hyped up. I mean, you're 2-0, you beat the Patriots, which you guys have been beaten the last couple of years anyway, so that's not really a surprise. But then you come in and then you just come back with an epic comeback victory against the Ravens when Lamar Jackson was on fire, and then now you face the Buffalo Bills coming into town, and so. There's reason for I guess a lot of hype. This is what I think the game of the week. But what I'm talking about is this. I'm like, this has only been 2 games for the Dolphins, but we've seen the Bills play like this for a while. So like for Fins fans, I mean, I get it. I mean, get excited. I mean, why not? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Why not? But for guys who are just like just running their mouths, like, the Bills are gonna you're not winning the division. The Dolphins are gonna and all this. I'm like, yo, pump the brakes, man. Like, what do you think about these guys? Now, this is old, but they were still running their mouths about the Dolphins and how much they're gonna just beat the brakes off the Bills. What do you think about these guys? Maybe you've seen them or not. I don't know.
Buffalo is probably favored or tied for favor to come out for the Super Bowl, and that would be a pretty safe bet for them to be in the AFC Championship game. But don't act like you already won it, bro. Don't. And this is what happens. They act like they already win it, and this is where they end up. And they're looking through the Dolphins. And I'm telling you, this is not the year to make that mistake. It's not, because come the final quarter of the season, when you're counting wins and losses, again, you're gonna be looking at, either we're looking our rear view at you, or that's probably how it's gonna be. So.
That wasn't enough. Look, that's not all. Here's another one. Check this out. Hold on.
Started okay.
hold on. Yeah, he did, right?
Yeah, I was like, okay, he's pretty reasonable. Why are you showing? And then I was like, oh.
Yeah. That's it. And then check this out.
Again, and I said this earlier, their infamy lies with failure. That's the infamy. It's wide right. It's 13 seconds. You type 13 seconds in a chat in any of these places, everyone already knows what you're talking about. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that it's like something the idle fan would know, but if you're on these fanatics, as everyone is all throughout Twitter and everything, I mean, it just strolls in. When a Dolphins fan, or if any divisional fan is arguing, when a Jets fan argues with the Bills, they say 13 seconds to your face. And now you can give them all the reasons to put the Jets in the dirt, but they've got a weapon that we know hurts you. It bothers you. That's the thing. We know it works.
Kevin, that's from your fan base, man. The Fins tailgate. What say you, man? What are your thoughts when you hear that coming out of those guys' mouths?
Oh man, yeah, that's the opposite of what I was talking about. Yikes! Like, look, let's be real. You guys, as a fan base, are brutal, absolutely brutal, because you guys are so unbelievably cocky. I've said it many times, and I say this with love. But you grew up getting beat down by the Patriots, and you watch how the Patriots fan act. And we were all like, these guys suck. We hate Patriot fans. You've had a small taste of success. And now you're the Patriots fans again. So anyway,
we're not that bad, Kev. Come on.
You are absolutely
no way.
At least the Patriots had 6 titles. Shit, you won less games last year and didn't go as far in the playoffs. And I heard more this offseason.
From who? From Bills fans or from the national media?
God. I'm telling you right now. Go on Twitter. No one covers the Miami Dolphins like the Bills Mafia. No one. If Tua breaks wind in the shower, there's a Bills content creator putting a clip up. So, like, let's again.
Well, that's what it's about. We gotta entertain people.
Yeah,
and Tua pooping in the shower is entertaining.
Like, you guys are cocky. So, but
man.
Again, the problem is, well, from my perspective, is at least you're the best team in the league. So, and I think comfortably the best team in the league. I think it's you, and then there's a gap, and then it's like Tampa and
you really think Tampa is up there?
Right?
Oh,
I think if they get their stuff together, that's the best wide receiver core maybe I've ever seen. That's and that's a dominating defense. So I think if Brady gets his crap together, I think that's a very good team. I think if they get their stuff together, they walk through the NFC. Because
that's why he came back, because the NFC is a cakewalk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. So, but I mean, like Godwin, Evans, Julio, Russell Gage, Scotty, like it's insane. They were cutting
Cole Beasley. Oh,
Cole Beasley. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, I think that you guys are really good. So you guys can talk your stuff. That's why Dolphins fans have to be quiet, because we haven't done anything yet. But we've been so boring. Like, even when we had some decent years, like we made the playoffs a few years ago, running game and defense. We had that run in the 2000s where we didn't win any championships, but we were always like 12 wins, 11 wins back when we had like the Taylor, Zach Thomas, Sam Madison, all those guys.
I remember those guys. Yeah.
Ricky Williams years, right?
Yeah.
Boring, So we haven't been able to actually score some points since Dan Marino retired. So some of these guys are running their mouths off because all of a sudden they see a competent offense and they're mistaking it for a great offense. And I have a sneaking suspicion it's not going to go so well come Sunday. Tell them.
I don't know, man. And maybe Bills fans, maybe we're feeling ourselves a little too much. I don't know. But I can't help myself, Kev, because I just can't.
Man, you guys are the worst. I love you guys.
I just can't help it, man.
God,
because look, the Bills are a great team right now. I get it. We haven't
best team, yeah.
we haven't won a Super Bowl. I get it, but that doesn't mean that you can't get excited about how great your team is.
No, for sure. But maybe it's because I'm one of the, I don't know, this sounds weird to say, but I guess one of the Dolphins fans that has, like, the majority of my Twitter people are Bills fans. Yeah. So maybe it just feels worse for me because anytime something happens, when they think Dolphins, they think of me, and then they drag me through the mud. But, I get shit on, like, oh man. So I take a real beating. Yeah. I keep seeing you guys whining in the comments about how you're injured. Yeah, so are we. Don't line that up. Oh, we're missing our corner. We're missing our corners too. You know what I mean?
Who are you guys missing? Xavier Howard
Jones is missing.
Oh, Jones.
Nick Needham might not play. He's our nickel corner, so those guys aren't playing. And Xavier Howard he's not even practicing right now because we've got a groin injury. So I think, and if Howard doesn't play, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, it is over. Yeah. So, I mean, not that it probably won't matter in the end, but you need Howard if you want to have a shot. So, and then, of course, missing our right tackle. He's hurt. And then apparently now Teron Armstead is injured. Surprise, So we'll see. But Needham is trash. Needham didn't give up a single touchdown last year. Not one. Yeah. You always love to talk about Teron Armstead. Needham was better in coverage than Teron Armstead was last year.
Let's focus right here, Kev. Because Pierre says, Kev, you need to get the body bag ready.
Yeah, but Pierre's been saying you're going 17-0 for the last 7 years. You know what I mean? So even a broken clock's right twice a year.
But this year's different, Kev. This year's different.
How's it different? You've been crushing us for 3 years. It's no different. I heard you were like, this is a different team. I'm like, shit, I hope so, because it hasn't gone so well.
This team is just better, man. I don't know, it's something different about it, man. The way this is the mentality. And I think where I think that this team has really just I guess gotten over the hump, I guess you can say, is just the defensive line.
Yeah,
I think that was the main thing. We already knew that Josh Allen and Diggs was lead, but across that defensive line, that D line has been suspect for years now. But when we can shore that up with the interior, with Daquan Jones, if Tim Settle can get back healthy, we got him, and then we brought back Jordan Phillips, who's having a great start to his year as well. Plus, now you look at the edge, and we add Von Miller. So the defensive line looks visibly different and more dominant this year than it has in years past. And so I think that's what helps us out, because now it's like our defense and our offense can match. Now, granted, we were the number one defense in the league last year, but I mean, come on now, like real fans actually knew that was kind of like, how real was that? You know what I'm saying? Because we had such a cake of a schedule, but our D line was suspect all year last year. Even in the run, we got gashed. We saw it. So it was bad. But this year, I think they've shored that up so far. I mean, when you go up against the King and you shut him down to he didn't have 25 yards or something. That was ridiculous. Shut him all the way down. We'll find out going the rest of the year, but I just think that's where it looks a whole lot different. And then we've got speed with these rookie corners, Kev. Kyer Elam and Christian Benford. Mm-hmm. They don't look like rookies to me. They don't. Now, I mean, what do you think about him? I mean, when you look at him, objectively as a Dolphins fan, because Bills fans, we're drinking the Kool-Aid, man. We're drunk on some stuff. So what do you see out of him? When you think about
this scheme makes it easier to play corner, right? That's why I always laugh when it's Trey White over Xavier Howard. When you're in that scheme, it's much, much easier to play corner, especially when you have the best safety 10 in the league. So, I mean, if you put those rookie corners in a scheme like Miami plays, where they're on an island, they got to play a lot of man-on-man, maybe it's a different story. I do like Christian Benford's ability. I like his willingness to tackle.
Yeah, me too.
Like he came and blew up a run play against the Titans. Like I like that. Elam has a bit more physical tools, I think, but Benford's a better player right now. So who knows where he'll end up at the end.
I agree with that. Right? I agree. And that's crazy because you got a first round draft pick in Kyrie Elam, and then you get the 6th round guy in Benford, but he just came a little bit more polished for the scheme. Whereas Kyrie Elam was a man guy trying to convert to playing zone, whereas Benford is already zone ready. So that's why he has an edge so far. But the fact that we have both of those guys who are interchangeable, who look good, but Benford is really just showing me something, man. I mean, the way, and I remember that play because it was Derrick Henry had gotten strung out to the sideline, and he just came and blew him up. I mean, it was a great, and he's always been physical. He's a physical corner, and I love that about him.
Yeah, he just took the tight end, just blew up the tight end right back into the play. It was, so I'm not taking anything away. I'm just saying it's a good situation to put rookie corners in, because your defense is predicated on that back two, right? You can't get anything deep on them. So if you can't get anything deep, they always have that security of someone behind them. So they can gamble, they can be aggressive, they can come up because they don't have to worry that they're going to do a false step and get beat. And of course, the other part of your defense is going to be it's the Milano and Edmonds, right? I know for some weird reason your fan base isn't always high on Edmonds. I don't get it because he has. If you look at his responsibility and role, it's one of the hardest I've seen in the league. They ask him to do so much, and his length and size disrupts so many passing lanes. And then Milano's just an unbelievable all-around linebacker, but especially in coverage. So you basically have the whole middle of the field locked up, deep middle and middle, right? So these corners, they're playing in a little circle. They're playing a tiny little cloud zone where they can come up as long as they tackle well, then they're going to be good. So against Miami, like that's going to be their big thing is can they tackle? Because Miami's going to hit Hill and Waddle on some short ones. And then it's that, that's the only way Miami wins is if they break a couple tackles and then they're gone because your secondary is not fast. So it's not going to catch those guys. So, but they're excellent. Like they're so smart. I shouldn't I'm not shitting on them by saying they're not fast. That's just facts. But they're just sound. Like Leslie Frazier just, whatever you think of him as a head coach, as a defensive coordinator, everyone knows their schemes, everyone knows their assignments, and they're always in position. So there's no blown coverages. So that's what's impressive. So I feel like with those rookie corners, it's going to come down to their tackling. Can they stop Tyreek and Waddle from making big plays out of small catches?
Yeah, I agree 100% because, I mean, they're going to have to show up because Dane Jackson, I mean, first of all, oh man, God bless that man, because that was a scary moment right there when we saw Dane Jackson take that friendly fire hit from Jermaine Edmonds.
Yeah.
So glad to hear the news that he walked out of the hospital, man. I thank God for that because that could have gone a whole different way. The way his head snapped back, I thought,
I saw him moving right away, so I didn't realize how severe it was until I saw the replay, and then I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. But you know what pissed me off? And I'm gonna say,
don't bring that up. The guy that moves him.
Yeah, come on, Kevin. Why not?
Second, because it was completely unintentional. You can watch the replay again. Your guy pushes him and says, "Hey, he's hurt." And the Titans player goes, "What?" Looks down and he goes, "Oh shit!" And immediately is like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize." Like,
what do you think? He would just lay on the ground and take a nap?
There's a difference between someone being super hurt and someone like lying there after a tackle. You see that 1,000 times in every game.
He wasn't moving.
Guys, he was moving. He was rolling around. He wasn't stationary.
But he was hurt. But if he was hurt, why are you gonna move him in the first place? Hurt or not?
Here's what I'm saying. It was a stupid play, but I don't think it was super malicious because the second that guy found it, you could see it in his demeanor. As soon as he realized he was actually hurt, he was like, "Oh no!" And he stood there and he was like very contrite. Yeah. Now I can't read, you're just reading body language here, but it wasn't like he was just pushing a guy off to pull his guy out of the pile, which you see 42 times a game.
Yeah, I don't think it was malicious, but in the moment, and I told you, Kev, man, I get emotional, man.
And I didn't realize, because remember, same thing, in full speed, it didn't look that bad. Like, and he rolled over right away.
Yeah.
And he was moving. again, I'm not trying to diminish the injury. I'm just saying in the heat of the moment, it wasn't until we saw the replay and I was like, oh my God. And then you realize how severe it could have been because you're not supposed to bend that way. Oh man.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
So I'm glad he's healthy. Like, I'm glad it's okay. I just don't think that guy was like trying.
I don't think it was malicious either. I don't think so. But I was pissed when I first saw it. I'm like, he's hurt. You know what I'm saying? He just moving like he was a sack of potatoes. Like, get out the way. Hurt or not. You know, I just felt some type of way about that. You know, so I had to get that off my chest, Kev. I told you I'm an emotional guy. You guys forgive me.
Not like when Gronk jumped on Trey.
No, that was malicious, and I was surprised. To this day, that ticks me off, man. Because you know who really pissed me off more than Gronk was Preston Brown.
Oh, he's the dirtiest player I'd seen. I can't stand Preston Brown. The king of the assisted tackle. Oh my God, it's my most hated bill of all time. If Pierre is in this chat, he is laughing right now because I've been talking about Preston Brown for years. It never makes a play. No one runs over and puts a hand on a guy already going down to get those assisted tackles more than Preston Brown and celebrate this fact. I like the other Brown. What was his name? Oh, I love
Zach Brown. Oh, I love Zach Brown.
Good, man.
I love Zach Brown. But no, Preston Brown ticked me off because that play, like as soon as Gronk, laid and hit Trey, Preston Brown is right there. He's right there looking at it, and he jumps up and down like some little baby, and is like crying to the rest, like look what he just did. And I'm like, dude, I don't understand why the whole bench didn't clear and go after him. I guess Preston Brown was scared of Gronk. I don't know, but that ticked me off, man, and I felt some type of way about that too.
No, I would too. That was filthy. I was just like, what the hell? It was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was bad. It was stupid. But anyway, yeah, enough talking about Preston Brown and those old Bills. But nevertheless, Kev, what you said that you're not too confident, man, that you guys are gonna pull out the win, not even a little bit. So what is your key to the game, man? Like, what if the Dolphins are gonna win this game? It comes down to what?
The defense has to play like they did against you guys last game. If you recall, last game was very close. You guys had 3 points at halftime, and we were winning in the fourth quarter. And then you had that classless last second touchdown when instead of kneeling, you went for it for some reason and then went for a 2-pointer. Like, I'm still pissed off about that. What a classless move. But anyways, so that was the defense has to play like that because it sure as hell can't play like when you scored 70 points or whatever in like week 17 2 years ago. If the defense can play like that, get a few lucky bounces, get some turnovers, and then is Gabe Davis playing?
I don't know. I don't know yet. It's still early.
Because, so we'll see. Because Howard did well against Diggs last year, but it's always the secondary. Like, I'm starting McKenzie in my pools this year for this week because, I have a bad feeling. But if Miami wins, they're going to need the defense has to play really well. They're going to have to get a couple of lucky bounces, some deflections that turn into interceptions. And then, of course, on offense, your guys are going to have to miss tackles, right? So, and hopefully from Miami's perspective, they can run a bit on you. We've shown this year that you guys are pretty stout up the middle with all those DTs. But I want to see Von Miller have to defend the run, right? So, he had an excellent tackle for loss against Derrick Henry. Oh, I'm not saying he's bad, but he's your best bet, right? Yeah. His best bet is for him to be so like salivating to kill Tua like Epinesa did, that it's to try and get him out of position and move him. So, and because Groot is excellent against the run.
Excellent, man.
That's where I would go, right? I would go at Von Miller and then try and wear him down if you can, based on him having him defend the run. But you need every one of these things. Like, every one of these things has to hit for Miami to have a shot, I think. They have to get turnovers. The defense has to play well. They have to be able to pressure Josh with just 4. They have to be able to run the ball. and then you guys have to have a sloppy tackling game.
Yeah, well, they can't. They're not running the ball against it. That's just not going to happen. I don't see it. My thing is this. I think the Bills, the rookies are going to get tested. Our corners are going to get tested, man. I mean, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are going to test them tremendously. And so I want to know if they're up for the task. I mean, it's one thing to play against Treylon Burks and aging Robert Woods and whoever else the Titans try to throw out there. It's a whole other thing when you've got, when you get the best receiver in the game plus an up-and-coming stud who's basically arrived in Jalen Waddle. I'm curious to know, like, if the Dolphins are going to have time to go deep, to throw the ball down the field to Jalen Waddle or to Tyreek Hill, or are they going to be, or is Tua going to be running for his life? You know what I'm saying? Because I think that the Bills are going to bring some pressure. We're just 4, and Tua made mention about how he can't see, and so I think a lot of guys are going to get their arms up in the air. But I think it's going to be a quick passing game for the Dolphins. Getting the ball out. Maybe the screen game is that can you see some screen games going on with the Dolphins to get the ball in Tyreek Hill's hands quick and early to maybe try to break something loose, or maybe some crossers across the middle, because he's been known for that, for killing the Bills with some crossers, because all it takes is a crease and he's gone. What do you think about that, man? Yeah,
that's what they're going to have to do. So I think they're going to have to move the pocket. So keep in mind, this is your Shanahan offense, right? So there's a lot of rollouts, a lot of bootlegs, a lot of play action. They're going to have to keep moving. They're going to have to help on Greg Little's side. I don't care who's on the other team. I doubt you're going to beat Armstead, but they got to keep protection on Greg Little's side, or they're just going to be eaten alive. Oh, come on.
I said it, man. I said it. Tyreek, I mean, when you just from a stats, if you look at the stats, Tyreek is number 1, and then you got Diggs. But I love my man Diggs, so it's just no shade. But Tyreek is that dangerous, dude. He's just, we know that.
So that's, but you nailed it. You're gonna have to, the screen. I don't think that doesn't really work because Poyer blows him up, Johnson blows him up. They're just too good against the screens. But I want to see like the same, like the quick, like the slants and the crossers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
because I want to see if your corners can follow him across the field, and then hopefully like the long touchdown he scored against you guys in the playoffs, right?
Well, we saw a play like that Monday night. I'm trying to think who it was. I think it went to Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks was it Kyer Elam? I think Burks was in the tight formation, in the slot, and he ran across the middle and beat Elam, I think it was, across the middle, and he had it was a huge play. I mean, I think like 16, 17 yards across the field. Like if that's Tyreek Hill, he's scoring. And then unless our safeties come up and somebody can punch him, and keep the yak down. But if that's Tyreek Hill, I think that's one of those classic Tyreek Hill, throw the deuces up, and he's gone.
Hyde's status is going to be big for you guys.
It's going to be huge, man.
Because if Hyde doesn't play, can you play as much cover 2? And then if you do, it's I'm a Miami U fan, so I love Johnson. But
Jaquan Johnson is going to be
but he's not fast. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, overall, I think I need a miracle. And, I'm going to need.
Now. All right. So let me ask you this question, Kev. Let me ask you this question because, man, I mean, we're feeling ourselves right now. We're feeling ourselves, and I came in. The title of the show is hey, the Bills. They have no reason to feel threatened at all. None. I know people are talking about, hey, watch out for the dog. I don't think that there's a reason for us to be threatened at all. But could this be, or would you consider this to be a trap game? I mean, could it be a trap game, or is it a legit competitive matchup?
I think the Dolphins are improved. I think the Dolphins have a good shot to make the playoffs, or at least a good chance. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think that they can win 10 games, 11 games, maybe, if things go right. So I wouldn't call it a trap game. It's not like you're playing like the Commanders or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
But you guys should expect to win every game. Now, will you win every game? Probably not. You might drop one or two here and there, but you should win. But yeah, I wouldn't. And it's a division game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's tough to not get up for that. But hopefully you're so cocky because you've beaten us 7,000 times in a row. Hopefully, they underestimate them a little bit. So he didn't actually say that. So he's
What did he
talking
say?
about. So Rico's talking about there's a fake quote going around that someone has added. Here you go. It's
There it
not
is.
real. He didn't actually say this. Someone in the internet made this.
I caught that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
hey, man, but do what you gotta do, man.
Actually,
Take it and run with it.
Tyreek brought Poyer on his
He brought his
show,
podcast. Yeah, I remember that.
and it was an excellent episode. But and he was nothing but complimentary to you guys. Like, yeah, I don't know if I used smack that ass, but yeah. But yeah, I think who knows? Like I said, you guys should win the championship unless Allen gets hurt.
Oh
But
man, don't you say anything about Allen getting? Don't
I'm not
even.
saying, I'm just
I
saying,
know it. I don't even want to hear
that's
that.
the only, if Allen,
The only
you
reason-
run him too often and he gets hurt or something, then that's your
Oh
only
man.
that's your only chance of getting derailed. I think
What do you think about this, Kev? What do you think about the spread, man?
not high enough. I'm putting the Bills again. It's a whole thing. Like, look, if it was another team, I'd be a little cockier. If there's another team, I'd be a little more confident.
Yeah.
There's another team, like, should we have won against the Ravens? No, but
Yeah.
we've never been able to do that before. And to
Mhm.
see that explosiveness, and it's not just Hill, it's like Waddle, like it's Waddle going for 170 and 2 scores. It's Hill going for 190 and 2 scores. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Against another team, I feel like we can we'd have a good shot. But against you guys, it's gonna be a beatdown.
You think so, Kev? All right. So
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question, Kev, because I'm getting to this last segment here before we end it with some score predictions. Okay. I need you to tell me, from the news that you've been hearing out of Miami Dolphins fan, whatever y'all call yourselves. Okay. Is anything that's coming out of Miami? Is it true, or are they capping? I'm capping. Why you capping? That's cap. Why you capping? Why you capping? That's cap. Is anything coming out of Miami Dolphins true, or is it cap? Is it cap or no cap? Tell me something that's been said in the national media or maybe local media about the Dolphins matchup against the Bills that you think is just straight cap.
Oh, specific to what you guys are
Yeah.
against you guys? I don't
Yeah.
know. I haven't really. There's a lot of Miami fans that are a little delusional, but whatever. Like, you guys were probably the same way when you weren't very good. You always, now we got a chance. This is the year. You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing. I can't hate on them, but yeah, fins up nation. There you go.
Oh, is that what y'all call it?
Yeah,
I had
they
no
always
idea. Fins up nation.
Fins up, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's what they always say, fins up. So,
Uh-huh.
but nah, man, like, there's a bit of hype over. So what I think happened is, for whatever reason, the national media loves to dump on Tua, right? They
Yeah.
just unrelentingly dump on Tua. He's the worst. He's whatever, but he's not. When you check the stats, when you watch them play, he's no worse than he's no worse than the bottom half of the guys. You know what I mean? Like, he's a mediocre guy right now, and he's had so now he's had this big game. So now some of the media is like, oh, he's got all the tools. What? 2 minutes ago, you told me he was a bum. If Chris Sims is rating
They
him
do that with everybody.
a 42nd overall quarterback, which is just absurd. You know what I mean? But so we'll see. So some of the narrative,
man.
so now all of a sudden, because of this game, the national media is a little too showing them a bit of love. I think it's because they feel bad because they shat on us for 10 months.
Oh, Kev, come on.
I see a comment to his average. I agree.
Yeah.
That's what I think. He's not trash. He's just not good. You know what I mean? So if you look at, the wins, which wins aren't a quarterback stat, but I mean, he's turnovers and his touchdown interception ratio, his stats, like, I don't understand how anyone can watch a full season of Tua, a full season of Mac Jones, and tell me Tua's trash and Mac Jones is going to be a great player when their stats are almost identical. Except Tua is actually a little bit is more mobile. He's not a threat to run, but he's actually kind of elusive in the pocket. You know, I see it. I saw it.
Adam's a stupid.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like,
Brooke closes his eyes and prays Jalen
memes
Waddle right there.
I'd rather have that than Mac Jones. You know what I mean? You know that photo of Mac Jones where he's got like, oh man, that's bad.
Oh man. Oh, that was funny, dude. That almost brought tears. He just chunks it. He just chunks it. I hope he's there.
It's like the meme. There's that meme where there's like two dudes carrying a guy in, and it's like Tua and Waddle carrying Tua this year.
Oh man.
That's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, keep in mind, the 49ers went to a Super Bowl and an NFC Championship game with Jimmy G. And I think Tua can be just as good as Jimmy G.
You think so? All right, so Rico said, yo, Kev, I was just on a Dolphins show and they say that the organization believes in Tua. Is that true? Do they really believe in him like that? Like that?
So the coach does, I think, because the coach thinks, you know how every coach thinks they can make that difference. They can scheme him up. So apparently in Miami was all in and trying to get rid of Tua. And when McDaniel got hired, he actually had this whole clip of all these cut-ups of things that Tua has done the last couple of years, and then showed them how it would succeed in his system. Because again, this is the guy that came from, like, they used to remember when San Fran would trot out like Nick Mullins and he'd throw for 360.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a very quarterback-friendly scheme. So I think he thinks that he can win with Tua. I don't think anyone thinks he's the next Josh Allen or the next Patrick Mahomes. But I think that when they say they believe, is they don't believe that he's trash. And they think that, you know, with his accuracy, his mobility in the pocket, his pocket awareness, that sort of stuff, that he's a higher ceiling Jimmy G. And if you can make the Super Bowl and you've got a higher ceiling guy, in your opinion, then why wouldn't you believe?
Yeah, I get it, man. You know what I'm looking at here? I see somebody in here talking about like who's out. That's Jordan Poyer out, Micah Hyde out, Trey White,
that's
James
just
Jackson.
practice.
Come on now. That's practice. I'm looking at the practice report. Micah Hyde did not practice. James Jackson, Austin Knox, Jordan Phillips did not practice. Limited was Gabe Davis, Poyer, Settle, Mitch Morris, Ed Oliver. Full practice was Matt Milano, Cam Lewis. But this is Wednesday. We still have the rest of the week, man. Half the week left. I'm not worried about that. I think we'll be fine.
Everyone heals in time to play Miami. It's
you got that right.
It's a medical fact. It's just not just you guys. Every team. We had Marcus Peters played for the first time in 2 years, healed just in time for Miami. You know what I mean? Like everyone gets better when they play us. Oh man.
Yeah. Well, guess what? It's about to be a freaking ridiculous game. What's up, buddy? My son already calling me. So this is what I want to know. It's time. Oh, hold on. Put that back up there. Who's all right? I like that. Who's Miami's X factor? One on offense, one on defense. I like that, Kev.
On offense, offense, I'll say Mike Gesicki. There's a lot of attention, I would assume, that's going to be paid to Waddle and Tua, Hill, right?
Yeah.
And Gesicki's had a lot of success in the past against you guys. If you guys are going to be, you know, making sure that you keep far enough back that Waddle and Tua don't get behind you, that should open some space in the middle, or theoretically open some space in the middle for Gesicki.
Do you think Waddle's going to be stuck to him like glue, like white on rice?
Well, he's not been successful at that in the past, so we'll see. But on defense, it's easy to say Howard. He's the most important one. Hopefully his groin's pretty good, because if he can't play like at 90% or better, I don't know who's going to cover Diggs. Well, they won't be able to, that's for sure. So he's your most important. But if I had to pick like an X factor player, like off the radar, I'm going to say Javon Holland. So who's this guy? Who's this guy? Got that from the snowman, the Canadian. So he's awesome. Okay. By the end of the year, he's going to be in the conversation for the best safety in the league. Like, he's that good. Yeah. So, and he's only in his second year. So he's got to make some plays. I'm going to be honest. He did not play well against Baltimore. It was his worst game of his career. So we'll see. But I think Holland, if he can make a few, remember I said we need a couple of bounces. I need like X to get his hand on a ball and tip it up and have Holland pick it off, you know, something like that.
I would have figured you would have especially specific to this game, you would have picked like Christian Wilkins or somebody, because considering that Mitch Morse came off of that elbow injury and he's limited, you know what I'm saying? And so like I would, if I were you guys, I would kind of test that and see how strong he is. That I mean that maybe that could, I don't know, because I think you guys need some pressure, but you don't want to blitz. That's the thing about it. I don't know, man. Can you guys bring pressure against the Bills and get Josh flustered or get him off of his spot? You know what I'm saying?
That's going to be Phillips. Well, like, you know what I mean? If something's going to happen, it's got to be him. So he's been drawing a lot of attention this year, a lot of double teams, a lot of chips, a lot of guys going at him. So it'll be interesting. You guys don't really do that too much because you play a lot of like 10 personnel or 11 personnel, and you put Knox out in the passing. So it'll be interesting to see if he can help out, because if he can create some, that's the only way you beat. That's how Jacksonville beat you guys, right? The only way you can beat you guys is you have to make Allen miserable in the pocket with just 4. Because if you blitz, it's, you know, eventually he's just going to beat you.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, you guys have a defensive line to do something. You know what I'm saying? So it's I think, as it always does, typically it comes down to the trenches. Like whoever wins in the trenches, and typically might win the game. So I'm interested in seeing that, because when I look at you guys' defensive front, I mean, Christian Wilkins, Raekwon Davis, Emmanuel Ogbah, Jalen Phillips, you know what I'm saying? And then not to mention, I mean, Melvin Ingram, you know what I'm saying, too. So you guys got a squad, man, on defense. But Kevin, give me your score prediction, man, because it's score prediction time, and I want to know, is this game going to be close?
No.
It's not going to be close. What's the score? Oh. What's the score, Kevin?
I initially was pretty confident. I had predicted a 39-10 loss, but I think I'm going to up it to 41. Much like Vegas, the line for me is going to move a bit. So it's funny because I said you guys were going to beat the Titans 41-10, and it was 41-7. But I think that I think it's going to be just a disaster. I think the Miami fans are just going to be crashed down to earth, and we got to remember that you guys are a different animal, and that doesn't end our season. So I said before the season, someone asked me to do like a real weird, like, what's your weird prediction? My weird prediction was that Miami would lose to Buffalo 3 times this year, and I would still consider it a success.
Really?
Well, it means we made the playoffs. And if we played you guys, we probably won a first round game. Because I like our chances. I like our chances against a team like Indy or the Titans or
Indy looks terrible right now. Man.
Yeah, those guys. I think that we can match it. Obviously, we can play against Baltimore, stuff like that. So I could see it. But yeah, I think that this game's not going to be close. I think we're running into a buzzsaw right now.
So we're putting a 40 burger on you guys again.
Yeah, maybe we can hold it to 38. Prayers. But yeah, we need Byron. We play such a man heavy scheme, and it's all predicated on having the 2 good corners and being able to play off that, showing the blitz and backing out and stuff like that. And without Byron Jones, like, I think Allen is just whoever's playing. If Gabe Davis is playing, it's going to be a just a massive beat down. But even no matter who's on out there, I think he's just going to pick on that guy.
Right. I mean, Rico makes a great point. I mean, if the Bills lose, Dolphins fans and national media will be insufferable.
Why the national media though? They hate Miami. Like no one ever said anything good about
they are propping you guys up. I mean, they are inflating you guys' heads right now. They're talking about it. I mean, like this is a game of the week. You know what I'm saying? So nobody's really saying, oh, the Miami Dolphins are going to get blown out. They're actually like saying like this is a legit like matchup game. This is why I'm thinking. I'm like, look, the Bills don't have nothing to worry about. But if we don't handle business, that's why I asked you earlier, could this be like a trap game? If they don't handle business, I get it. There'll be 14 more games in the season, but for 7 days, it is going to be ridiculous amounts of conversation about the Miami Dolphins and they're going to win the division, and then I'm going to have to deal with these bums again coming on here talking crazy. You saw those guys that came on here to tailgate.
Yeah, that was bad.
So they're going to come out the woodworks acting crazy, and so I don't want to hear none of that stuff.
I got to tell you right now, okay? Because I know someone's listening.
Go ahead.
Every time Miami plays the Bills and they lose, this esteemed gentleman brings me on his show so that everyone can laugh. I'm telling you right now, Rico, if Miami wins and you don't have me on that show, oh my God, I'm going straight to Jenna.
Oh man, we got to get you on, man. Regardless, I want to see it. I want to see your face, man. Oh, dude, I want to see it. So here, man, an hour and 50 in the show. I got to wrap this up. So let me give you my final score prediction. So Kev, you said 40. You said 41.
41-10.
41-10. That's it. All right. Okay. I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna say 35-17. 35-17. 35-17. I think you guys. It's a Tyreek Hill factor. That's the Tyreek Hill factor, and the fact that he's going against 2 rookie cornerbacks potentially. You guys are bound to score, right? I mean, at least, and this is probably me being conservative, like I was with the Titans too. Like, but I just think that you guys have the ability to score because Tyreek Hill, all he needs is a crease. That's it. We know that. Gesicki is. I've always loved Gesicki, and so I'll give you guys 17. 35-17. My final score prediction. My final score predictions, man. And Kevin, with that being said, we are done for another edition, man, of Rated Rev, baby. Another edition of Rated Rev. Look, guys, do me this favor as you guys are about to head out. Give my man Kev some light, man. All that. Kevin, I don't know how he does it. That's why I said earlier, he's like a closet Bills fan. He's got to be for him to be able to stick with this for so long. I commend you, brother. But I'm glad that you came on, man, and talked about your Fins in an objective manner. But I still kind of think it's a little kind of, I don't know, man. It's something, maybe a little smirkness about it. It's like I'm trying to talk them down, even though I believe that, the Bills are going to be in trouble. I don't know. We'll see.
I live this life. I know that they always set you up for the fall, Just when you give some hope, they take
it. Yeah, man. But look, it's Tua is going to be running for his life. This is what I think. I think the D line is going to be after him like nobody's business. I'm going to say something that I wasn't going to say. I'm not going to say it. But they're going to be after him. He's going to be running. I don't think he's going to have time in the pocket to even really get the ball out quickly. Tip drill season. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. But we will see. I could be wrong, but I'm telling you, Bills Mafia, you have no reason to feel threatened one bit. It's going to be a great game. Bills victorious. 35-17, 41-10. Doesn't matter. We're getting that dub. Kevin's going to sit there. He's going to join the show when they beat the brakes off him, and he's going to tell us his feelings. 63-7, Joel Brown. Good God. That would be.
Confident we'll do better than that.
Yeah. We're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. We're out of here. You guys stay tuned for more Buffalo Fanatics the rest of the week. On Thursday, I think we're going to be off, but stay tuned for Rico Report on Friday. Watch that. We got my man, probably the Kev and Ev show. You know how they do it on Saturday mornings with the spaces. They're taking that over. And then we're going to have, of course, the pregame show with Rico and the fellas. And then we've got the postgame. And we got the live game by my man. It's the Kingpin, and I'm out. So you guys are going to want to keep it locked right here because we've got nothing but the best Bills content across the globe. And until next time, baby, for Kevin Guerard, your man, Rev, we will see you again next time. Kevin, you going to say go Bills, baby? Can you say go Bills for us? Say go Bills. Say fins up.
Fins up.
We're out of here, guys. God bless, man. Go Bills.